We're probably all in the wrong spots. We are. And Cell has something on his face.
Oh, do I? Unlucky. I
Hmm.
do. I got a scroll bar on my face.
That's all right. You gonna clean it off? Oh, it's still there. That's funny. Did I expand this or something? Oh, I think I expanded it for something we were doing with one of the other games. Let's just go like that. That should solve the problem, I think. Yeah. All right. What's up, everybody? How we doing today?
You know, alive. Got midterms this week, so been studying hard.
Oh, that's good. Did you guys have a fun this past week? Cell studying for your midterms and everything. Do you like to
Yeah.
get in study groups? Is that one of the ways that you go about it, or?
No, I normally study by myself in like the library. I can't study at my apartment because I'll get distracted with my computer too much. So if I'm at the library, I can like get a caffeine drink, some water, and I can sit down at a table and just do work because I don't really have any other options.
Gotcha. So you don't have the self-control to behave yourself with temptation, so you remove yourself from temptations to do well.
Yeah, I mean, sounds like a pretty good idea, right?
My buddy Keith, that you've heard me refer to beforehand, his freshman year of college, he bombed hard. He just partied a ton and had a lot of fun and whatnot, which I know Nick is funny to talk about. And had way too much fun and whatnot. By the way, partied, let's be clear, Halo partied a ton. We're talking like they hooked up a bunch of Xboxes and did LAN parties
LAN
of like
parties,
Halos
that's
and shit like that.
hilarious.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
it's exactly what
I
they
res-
did. It just like drank a ton of like energy drinks and iced tea and just like farted a bunch. Anyways,
That's
so
fair.
so his lack of self-control with his Halo LAN parties back in 2004
Man,
made it so
that's on you, dude.
yeah. It wasn't even alcohol. Like he barely he drank, but like all of his friends that he made in college, all of them have 3D printers. So like have their own 3D printers and have had them for many years.
I want one.
Yeah,
But they're
yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, sure. But like when you didn't waste your college money on alcohol, like it was a lot more feasible. So
Sure.
anyways, they so he moved home because they same idea. He couldn't control himself, so he moved home back with his parents until he graduated, and then for a lot longer after that. But
Yeah, but you know, I just go to school to study. It makes also I do work at my computer, obviously, still, right? But when I need like hardcore study, I'll go to the school and do it.
I mean that's why it's there.
Nice.
I mean they have those facilities for a reason. I don't know.
Yeah, the library is nice. It's a bit cold, but like it's also too hot to like wear like pants. So I'm stuck in the conundrum of wearing pants and suffering outside or suffering inside.
Speaking of suffering outside, Nick, if you had to put in a scale, 1 to 100, what's the likelihood we just got COVID?
Well, either COVID or what was it? Was it Triple E was coming back through or one other? I got like 17 mosquito bites, which is insane when you think of how many people were surrounding us. It was pretty crazy. Crazy.
I am not itchy at all. I got mosquito bites as well. I was not itchy at all today.
I'm only a little itchy because I went for a massage today. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. Kind of activated all. All right, there was one moment. Nick and I were bad people at one point in time. There was this one really funny moment.
Shocker.
So we're watching this really cool performance, which I'll get to in a second. Well, all of the performances have really good moments, and then you're also at like kind of like a, it's not like super high tier stuff, but we're at this one performance and we're just like underneath trees and we're just getting attacked by a bunch of mosquitoes. So Nick and I are running defense at the time. We're just like swatting them away, trying to keep them away from, our daughters or whatever. And then there's this one point in time where both Nick and I swat at the same mosquito and then we see it like fly away and land on this dude in front of us shoulder. And like, Nick was like a half step behind me. So I look back at Nick and he gave me that look like, yeah, I saw it too. And we're both watching and the mosquito goes to like the shoulder to like his shoulder blade, like behind him. And we're both like, not our problem. One less to worry about.
Let it live, dude. Let it suck some blood.
Oh yeah, horrible spot too. That you know.
Oh god, I forget the terribleness the map looks like right now. Jake has a protrusion into the barren lands.
Excuse me, know your place.
I'm digging into Jake's
Jake,
land.
I got you, man. I got you.
No, it doesn't look good, dude. It just
Actually, no, wait, never mind. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sal. So I didn't mean to outspeak at you. Jake, you better not respond. I fucked this up. You know your place, Jake. Those lands are his lands.
No,
I've forgotten.
What?
You were the aggressor here, Sal. I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
I'm confused.
Yeah, we only got to say hi to V-Sword really, really quickly, but it was really cool how V-Sword had found us. So we were watching the jousting thing that happened there, and I was originally standing in front of, I don't remember who Green was representing. I think Green was representing. Were they Slytherin?
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
the Harry
The
Potter house.
color doesn't matter, but I think Green was representing Slytherin that day. Yeah, okay, they're representing Slytherin. I was standing over there, and I won't lie, I was right in the very front, but I was getting baked in the sun. So eventually we gave up, and we saw Nick sit down over on the other side. It's like, oh, let's go sit down on the hill with Nick. So we go sit down with him, and everybody gets sopping wet because and then we realize we're in Hufflepuff, which Hufflepuff. So anyways,
Adds up.
so the Hufflepuff champion actually wins the round, and so he gets handed a rose, or he has a rose or whatever, and so he comes over and he comes like right up to us and asks my daughter's name. So I'm like, her name's Aurora, and so he gives Aurora the rose and calls back across the field, her name is Aurora. And that's actually when V-Sword was like, I know an Aurora that's supposed to be here today, and she's like, I think that guy's too tall to be him, but I think that's him.
As if that's what happens.
Then she made her way over after the performance and looked up and was like, wow, it really is you.
Embellish your details.
That didn't happen at all. I was right next to you, and I saw the whole thing. You guys were pretty much eye to eye. Yeah.
She is short. V-Sword is like 5'4". I mean,
Yeah,
she
adds
towers
up.
over Brittany, but
Scott
Makes
was in
sense.
heels, right?
maybe
Makes
he's
sense.
5'3".
Was Scott in
Excuse me.
platformers?
I was actually in I was in my what are they called? Oh, what are the old man shoes called?
I don't know.
Nick,
You're
what are
an
old man
Balance.
shoes called? What?
New Balance.
No.
Oh,
What's the word I'm looking
Yeah.
for? Like old man shoes.
Like the leather ones?
Orthopedics. I was in my
Oh, what the-
orthopedics. Literally, the brand I wear is like Ortho or something like that. Like it's orthopedic from an orthopedic website. I wear old. They marketed for old people. That's the shoes I wear.
Adds up. Hey, how was your week, Jake?
That's 5'5" to you. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, 5'5". um.
Wow,
Anyways.
talking over Jake.
What?
Scott was just talking right over you, you know?
and I just
Yeah,
you know,
iTunes got out, so.
Wow, Jake,
How
how's your
his height, and I
lockdown?
was just like,
Yeah, because Jake's 5'4".
Look, it's
Last week,
look, a little bit taller than that, all right?
Jake, last week.
Yeah. Well,
Is this your last week of lockdown?
oh yeah, it is. Yeah,
What day is the last day of lockdown?
11.
The 11th. So it's
Yeah.
7 more days.
It's literally a week left.
So on Friday they're going to make an announcement. Is that what's going to
What
happen?
announcement?
That they're going to have to extend lockdown by a few more weeks to finish getting everybody vaccinated?
bad news always comes
No,
on
we're good.
Fridays.
Look, we're good. Don't worry.
You sure, Jake?
Yep, I'm sure.
Can we send Jake some positive vibes, everybody? Vibes.
Hands up.
If
Sending you
you're
energy.
if you're not double vaxxed though, you have to wait to the 1st of December.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, but if you get double vax between now and then, you'll be clear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. All right. What is I think we're good to go. Oh, the last thing I was going to say is story, and then we jump into the game. Was so my daughter has seen thus far 2 examples of men in drag. One of them was this new Cinderella movie that came out recently, and while watching that movie, she was arguing with Brittany and I that boys can can't wear dresses. That's for girls only. Boys can't wear dresses. So it was pretty awesome that while we were at the King Richard's, the mayor of King Richard's, he came over while we were having lunch and sat at our table like he does with most tables that have kids. And he played this little dice game with Nick's daughter, where he played like more or less, he gave her a golden coin and he played a die game with her and he more or less taught her how to play. And then she won and she got to keep the coins, but shared one with Rory. Cool. So then later on, when we went and saw where the mosquito incident happens, that same actor was dressed in drag for a villain part. It was pretty awesome because I got to be like, see, Aurora, there's another boy that wears dresses, and he's the one that was there. And it was one of those, you get in front of us to see the gears turning, like, maybe it's somebody I know. Maybe this is a real thing. It's like, I need more gay people in my life. Like, my daughter is not exposed enough. Anyways.
And I'll let that circle back into you. Who was the first one you saw, Scott?
The first one in drag?
I just had the image of Mathis dressed up as a Sailor Moon.
Come on.
Is that your Halloween picture, Scott?
No, that's Christmas, baby.
Oh God. Oh God. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby. When I emailed my teacher from high school, she referenced this picture, which is hilarious.
Hairline has changed. That's all I gotta say.
No, it has
And
not.
now
That was just
And
longer.
now it's just on the internet forever.
That's okay.
Somebody screenshot it.
I'm fine with it.
Well, where else would he keep his picture, Rosin? Okay, there's no better place but the desk, in the desk drawer or the box.
Yeah, I keep it right next
All
to the
right.
hand lotion.
Exactly.
Actually,
That's
where's
right.
the hand lotion I can use? All right, so you want to pick us up from the last 3 sessions? What happened in all of them? Because you totally watched them, right?
I did actually. So we started off with Nick's, and Nick did some cool things.
Where's my hand lotion?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember most of it. I know he expanded some hexes, I think. He got like this hex to the north that not chat can't see. He got a hex to his northwest of one of his towns. And
I can
He
sum it
discovered-
up for you pretty quickly if you want.
yeah, go for it.
Alright.
Conscript lost an arm.
Things of note. All right. So Tonscreet lost an arm. Cell lost an advisor. We don't know if he's dead or not. And Verix lost some land to Cell.
Because
That
very
sums up the
people
three
were dumb fucks. Okay, let's be clear. Okay, I was attacked and Tick-Tongue beat their ass. Okay, my defense.
I mean, I had to do it for you because you were.
I was
you were
playing games with
dogging
Josh.
the boys. All
I was
right?
playing with Josh. Okay,
Yeah.
Nick wasn't there.
Mhm.
Actually, Nick was there.
Mhm. Don't try and throw this onto to Nick. You know what you did.
I'm sorry. I would have just rolled a nat 20 instead of a 19. My bad.
I'm just telling you, the guy who keeps saying he's the nice guy, is rolling up into places, picking fights with
I got
churches.
rolled up into. He attacked
Sure,
me.
yeah.
I was attacked. It's on the record. book.
I want to
Right.
know, is Nick the Nick of this campaign or is Cell the Nick of this campaign? That's the
No,
question.
Nick has bad luck. That's the point of Nick.
No, I mean, I thought Nick was the bad guy, but the more that we play, I'm
No,
thinking,
no. Nick's
I'm
the
thinking
bad
it's
luck
you.
guy. That's Nick. He's the bad luck guy.
Mathis is the bad guy. Have you ever watched Thonk?
I mean,
All right.
I mean, this
I'll
is all
rephrase
fair.
because you it seems to be going over your head. Nick was we were all warned that Nick was the mean guy. Remember?
Yeah, I'm not.
But
mean.
but I'm saying that I think Cell might be taking that title from him.
Just because your people attacked mine
We'll see.
twice. This is
I
happened
don't know.
twice.
You started out so innocent, and now
Get your
Cell-
people under control, Varix. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what's
did you
going on
just say
here.
crack those whips? Is that what you just
Whoa.
said?
Whoa. So okay, to get this on track, I have one thing
Joey,
I want to do.
Neil might be canceling Wednesday morning again, so I'd say he is the bad guy. Go ahead.
I have one thing I want to do in Conjixio, unless we're not like leaving start a session.
What would you like to do?
I talked to you about this. I want to go find a priest of Orenda.
Okay. You find one.
Okay. I want to do it specifically without my crown and in like a disguise. Okay.
Whoa. That comes off?
Yes, that's the important part.
I thought you like glued it to your head to make sure people knew that it was yours.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I leave it, okay, in Aaliyah's capable hands
Okay.
to not lose it.
Aaliyah puts it on.
Okay. I'm not there for that. It's fine. I don't see it. So anyway, I want to find like a Orenda priestess that's in like I assume most like Orenda priestess aren't in like temples. They're more in like libraries and stuff, right?
So there are temples to Lady Orenda or shrines to Lady Orenda. It's just those are places where they'll parse through documents and whatnot that will then later on be put into libraries. If it's a community that has libraries. If it's a community that doesn't have libraries, then it'll probably go to some other place where they can be safe kept by preferably to a noble that shares knowledge. Sometimes they'll have a small library inside them, things like that. It's not the same every time,
Okay.
right?
Well,
The faith may be uniform, but the customs are going to be different.
yeah.
so-
I want to find like a priestess then, and I want to like ask for aid in having Tessel's prayers reach Orenda's ears because Tessel doesn't pray particularly often.
Okay.
And he's offering that the fact that he's gathered lost knowledge and he's searching for it and he needs guidance in where and how to uncover more of it. And he's building libraries and academies in a place that lacks them.
Okay. So the idea is more or less you just want to go pray with somebody.
Yeah, I want a priest to help me like reach. I assume priests and clerics or whatever have more capable of getting the ears of the gods, right?
In game, that is a fair assumption.
So yeah, well there we go. So that's what Teslas do.
It's not like you have any priests that can cast commune or anything like that for you, right? Like it's not they can cast any spells that can aid you, which is almost sounds like what you're asking for. But there's such low magic in this area. That's not something that's going to be very achievable.
No, I imagine even just like in general populist thought is like even if you're a priest, people probably assume you have a closer connection to the god that you're a priest to than like a random person on the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I assume at least. So that's why I'm searching. I'm just having someone help.
But like I said,
like,
in game that's logical. So that's fine. So absolutely, you do that. Of course, they do a prayer with you and try to get the words of Lady Orenda. It's not like anything. It's like the clouds open up and a big hand comes down and gives you a fist bump.
Yeah.
But you do of course go through like a prayer ceremony and they ask you what it is that you seek and so on and so forth. And, it's nice. Do you want like this to be private? Like is this something you're paying for?
Yeah. Yeah. I want it to be more private.
Okay.
But yeah.
So you can make a donation to the church.
Yeah, I'll donate what seems like a fair amount.
What do you think is a fair amount?
Like to tithing, I mean gold's a lot, right? A single gold for most things is a lot. I'll give like 20 gold.
Okay.
Sizable donation.
So you give a sizable donation.
Yeah.
To which of course they would say you're either incredibly devout or you have a lot to spare.
Can I get out of that?
Yeah, go right ahead.
That sounds like give me more money, bitch. What the fuck?
Right. It's one of your worst skills, which is comical for everybody.
Yeah.
We all enjoy that.
Well, it doesn't help that I get a -2 stacking bonus every time I fail.
Yep. So
yeah, but no, I leave. I mean, 20 gold is a sizable donation, and I'm building like libraries and academies. Okay, I feel like that's more of a donation to Orenda's cause than a direct gold donation.
Sure. And you have your conversation with everything's pleasant, blah blah blah. All right.
Yeah.
And nothing comes of this from just that, unfortunately. So we can kind of move on from here. All right. So
Yeah,
characters are eventually going to get back into their bit of travel, heading south from where you are. As a reminder, the region that you're in, there we go. I was like, why is this not working for me?
So when
the
should
reason-
I send you my shopping list?
What?
I wanted to get some stuff while I was here.
Oh, I suppose DM it now.
Okay. I just thought we never got an opportunity. I know Cell said he was going to get some stuff, but then everything else kind of steamrolled through.
Are you guys going shopping?
I don't have
I already
money to
went
buy.
shopping.
What? What is this? All right. I really just wanted two things anyway. It was that headband of Alluring Charisma, obviously for Karzug. I don't like buying those kind of items, but she's pretty much broken as a general unless I do.
Mm-hmm.
So there was that, and then I wanted to get a belt of heavy load for my axe beak.
Did you just buy your girlfriend makeup?
No, I bought her a crown. Thank you. As you saw from King Richard's, I buy all my princesses crowns. Sucker.
Funny enough, I didn't see Sam get a crown.
Well, Sam's a queen, not a princess. There you go.
Oh,
Oh, smooth as fuck.
funny.
Dodge that bullet.
Yeah.
Dodge that bullet.
She's not in the room, is she?
She's already asleep.
Okay, I was like, you would definitely not say that where she could hear you. Absolutely would never happen. All right. So
Nope, she's got me on video, you son of a bitch.
oh, that's awesome. oh,
Devastated.
oh, that's awesome. I'm sorry. So what was the second item again?
Belt of heavy load.
Oh, is that the thing that allows you to carry more shit?
It's like permanent ant haul.
Yeah.
So I just want it for my chocobo.
Oh, that's a different item. That's
Well,
more of
I
like,
didn't see one that was specifically for anything else. If that didn't work, I can always grab a bag of holding. But
so you're talking about like a saddle that allows you to carry more.
I already have a saddle though, so it'd have to be like a.
Give me 1 second. So the way the general rule is if you're going to try to have an item that takes up a different slot, what is it? If it's slotless, it's 50% more, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if it's going to take up or if if you're stacking things, it's if you're like double enchanting, it's 50% more for the additional ones. But if it's slotless, what's the
It is belt slot, so it's not slotless.
No. I'm saying if you're making something slotless. See, I can totally see.
Slotless is double, I thought.
Yeah, it might be double. So it might be something like because you're just changing which slot it's taking. So I can totally see that as being just like 25% more because you're trying to get something that would go over the chocobo. So you have to almost imagine like a birds don't have bit and bridles, but it's something else that it would have on it because it already has a saddle on it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so adding just like 500 gold more to take up a different body slot than belt, because I almost see like the saddlebags kind of taking up that body / belt slot on the bird, because animals have different slots than people do, right? So anyways, yeah, I would be fine with that. Just come up with something else that isn't a belt and be 2,500 gold pieces, and I'd be fine with something like that being findable. Yeah. It wouldn't be from people in Kajinxi. It'd be like a so hold on, I'm gonna increase the price again because these are rare items here. So 2,500 would be base value, and then for the other item you're talking about what, 4,000 base value?
Correct.
So 60. Give me 1 second. Calculator. Because these are extremely rare items instead of a place like this. I'd say about 9K to buy both those items.
Where's my wallet? Okay, yeah, I have it. So it's gonna bring me
Well, he's
down.
doing math real quick. Tomorrow
good.
night when I get out of work, I'm going to be going to the other place and doing some work, so I'll be available for a call on Discord. So this will probably be around like maybe 8 p.m. or so tomorrow evening. If anybody wants to hop on a call on Discord for a bit, I might pop off and on a couple of times as like if Brittany needs to call me for something. But so 8 p.m. tomorrow night, call on Discord if you guys want to chat at all. Anybody in the community? Anyways, back to you, Nick. So you do it? You pay for it?
Yep, we're good.
What a man. He buys it and everybody else is good. We're moving on.
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys, when you're leaving the city where this is transpiring, where all of this takes place, you leave on a river, right? And you leave in the river, but the river goes upstream now as opposed to downstream, which we had talked about beforehand. So
before we continue, there's just one thing. I am having.
everybody has something.
Yeah, mine's easy. I'm having Misumi send a bunch of letters, more or less recalling everybody that Densho has abroad to come home.
Oh,
And then she's coming with us as well.
is this how you're accounting for all those minions that Joey's been making for you?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
It's brilliant.
We're refocusing our effort, so everyone needs to be on the same page.
Mizumi says abroad. Do you mean me? So anyways, you she
Why
drops
do I
those.
find that funny?
It's a bad joke. So shut up, Sal. So she drafts those up and sends out the letters, but assumes at least for a while she won't be joining home. She'll be kind of like running kind of point from up here for that
No,
return.
she'll be returning with us.
Yeah, shortly.
No, she'll be returning with us.
All right, let's have that RP. I have matters I need to attend to here.
No, you know what? Whatever. Let's hurry up.
Is that what you say?
Yep. Hurry up.
She actually stops for a second and goes, "Are you feeling okay, great grandfather?"
Not particularly.
She's like,
Not particularly.
"Not even a squabble."
Not today.
Okay.
Seems as though the DM doesn't want you to come with us.
She's like, "The DM. Oh, the dungeon master. Well, him and I have unfinished business as well, but that's just because Joey sent up a picture of me."
Seems about right.
She smiles and says, "I'll be joining shortly."
Look forward to it.
I'm sorry, I meant Tony sent a picture of me. Is that
Of course.
there you go? Yeah, we're better
Hey,
now.
Tony.
There you go. Okay. As long as we're being legit. So anyways, she you're not gonna, but Jake, you're not gonna argue with her, you're just gonna let it slide?
I mean, I gave her time, but you know, I look. It's daylight savings happened here, and I'm muddled up. All right, so just I can't argue with you at the moment.
He's off by an hour. It's confusing.
Yeah.
You okay? Jake, should we take a
I think
break?
So.
Do we need to take a
I'm
break?
good. I'm good.
Okay.
We'll go.
Okay, everybody just stare at Jake for a minute. Make sure he's okay.
So, what happens as we travel down the river, going home?
We're traveling up the river, so can't you listen?
You're correct. We are traveling up the river. That is my bad.
So funny.
How does it travel south?
As you travel south up the river.
Yeah.
You
Are we in Australia?
No, we're in the Nile.
I'm not in denial.
Well,
Sure.
you just showed the picture. We know you are.
Oh, it's funny. All right. Anyways, so you guys travel up the river. Her running point, staying behind to make sure that letters get sent out to everybody correctly, to start calling them all in and whatnot, as well as handling some unfinished business that she needs back in Kijingxio. But she'll eventually be joining you down south, assuming she doesn't die. So as you guys are traveling up the river, it's done so with relative ease. If you think about it, loads of warlords are traveling at about the same time. Y'all may have arrived at different times, but you're traveling south at about the same. Some of the warlords are choosing to loop around and take the other river, having no issues going through Xingqin. That would not be beneficial for you guys to go through Xingqin for many reasons. Proximity is one of them. But Nick, you actually have an opportunity, considering how things went, that you don't have to travel straight home with them. When you get to one of the port cities, you actually have the opportunity of going a separate route and traveling more or less straight home. The river to the west goes effectively to your border, since you do have docks on that river. The very tip of the river. Just the tip.
How far would they have to go without me?
Do you have the map
from-
open?
We had to go from Tenchang to like Boston.
Yeah, I'm thinking of time.
He would be breaking off long before Tang Chang.
Yeah, but most of that's through water problems, which are unlikely to affect us. But then again, it could be a kelp monster.
Yeah, the problem is while I got my ass kicked on the boat, is you guys got your ass kicked before we got on the boat. So that's what he would be concerned with. I'll stay with the group. I don't want to split the party.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you cut that shit right out. I made my decision. You fucking DM nudging.
No, that's fine. As long as for you, it's the speed is not of the essence to get home in time. Don't worry about it. Nothing's happening there. So
That's all right. I don't want to smell Tonscreet's nub.
No.
That's just mean. Gotta get a scroll of regeneration. That's great, you know?
And it's like, are we talking about a shoulder separation? Does it just by the elbows? He's got a little fin going on.
So,
Anyway,
you guys, sorry, I like oil in my lungs. So you guys don't split off. Instead, you continue joining, traveling south instead of Nick going west, and eventually going to hit the northern part of the lake. This is the only point where we're going to have anybody roll for an incident. Actually, no, that's 2 points. We have to have anybody roll for an incident for the travel home. Why don't you guys, we'll have Jake, since he's off his game. He can call the person that's give me a D100 roll first.
Roz.
Roz, D100, please, ma'am. $36. So you guys are traveling across the lake, trying to get there. Do you remember how things ended when you were on the lake beforehand? You slaughtered all the kelp creatures. Every one of them died.
No.
You even set the woman on fire.
they were all let go because my two companions of charms and I didn't think they were a threat.
And so you killed them all.
All of them are alive. And one of them is rather amicable with me.
Yep. So can you guys go ahead and roll me perception checks
Ha, it's my greatest skill.
with sense motive?
Yeah. Tied. Huh? Oh, okay. Jake rolled a 14 and my number was a 14. I was very confused.
All right. So So you guys are apologies. So you guys are traveling along. It's actually Verix that probably keeps a keen eye outwards with an axe firmly in hand and a bit of rope in case he has to, with a weight at the end of it, in case he has to toss it so it wraps around the mast again so he can get big and tip the ship one more time. Anyways, keeps a keen eye outwards and into the water, and he swears sometimes late at night when he's looking, something's looking back, but never gets alarmed to the point where he thinks he needs to act. I'm talking about Varix. He wants some sushi. So anyways, the no attacks happen. Nothing concerns you. Just Varix gets this constant feeling like being watched.
I don't
Okay.
say anything.
Eventually, you guys make your way to the southern area down there. Nick, this is where you have Tang Chang. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you have unfinished business with Tang Chang, or was that resolved all up in the city to the north?
I'm 90% sure it was resolved. I have to build a road before any real business happens.
Yeah, because
We
or at least
also-
have a pathway. Yeah. What's up?
We also weren't sure if they were trying to kill us or not. And we kind of left in a hurry. So
What? I think only one of you guys were paranoid about it. Keegan so caught up. So nothing else? Cool. So when you're there, Nick, you left behind a bit of wood for them?
Yes, I think so.
and the
the
branch.
Yeah, the branch.
and it was the white tree, right?
Yes.
The one that cost what's his name, his arm?
Don't know that yet. That's metagaming.
But nonetheless, that one actually left the branch.
Oh, tell me it gave them all like cancer or something.
Oh,
Oh my god, what the fuck? It
I'm
wouldn't
just-
really
he
change
rose
the
the lights.
lifespan.
Give me leukemia. Give me leukemia. Give me leukemia.
Let's be
Uh,
real.
I just like I just think
idiot.
I'm gonna come like walking back up in here thinking I got a bunch of allies and really I just dropped the plague off at their door.
Hey,
It's good.
hey, let's be real. For
The guy probably gave it to his wife and then she died a horrible death and now we're sworn blood enemies. That's
Okay, cool.
or did I just give somebody a trump card idea? I don't know.
Speak less.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, when you go in there, when you guys are traveling through, you're just like in a lot of the other areas that you pass through. The people that run the city will greet a lot of the warlords, or at least have soldiers that greet the warlords to be kind. When you're greeted here, one of the things that's offered for all the people that just got off of the lake is for you to find lodging to spend the night inside this city or inside this large town for comfort and safety for the day. Do any of your characters or do your characters want to actually spend the evening in the town? You'd be invited to a
think
dinner
so.
and whatnot.
There's other warlords here too, right?
Correct.
I don't mind. You can stay.
Yeah, I won't refuse the invite.
Yeah.
I still would prefer to go home as quick as possible since we've been gone for a month. But if the other two prefer to stay, then he'll stay.
Okay. Sounds like you're staying. With your, I knew I should have had coffee. I chose not to. It was a bad choice. So, with your choosing to stay the night, you guys are treated to a nice little festival, like a mini festival. And this is one of those nice ones because this is the most northern town in southern Kajinksi, but also the most southern town in middle Kajinksi, right? So this is like kind of like a boundary between the two, but also a nice, safe area between the north and the south, right? Like this is like a nice gap away from them where you don't have to feel like you're in the northern lands anymore. The customs down here are more familiar to you and comfortable. The food down here, how it's prepared, what it tastes like. The music down here is just different than what you deal with up in the north. So it just feels more comfortable. And so needless to say, it's one of those things where you have to imagine it was like you're at a corporate event, right? And as you leave, you then gather together with your friends, back in your regular region, and everybody's just sitting there and shitting on the boss. back at home office. And it's one of those fun scenarios where a lot of the clan leaders here are kind of like having their little side conversations at the expense of the northern clans, and how different they are and difficult they are to work with, and more or less just. But it's one of those fun things where they're walking on eggshells, but not very lightly. You know what I mean? Like they know where to be cautious, but at the same time lay their foot hard. So it's definitely has one of those camaraderie moments. I don't know how much your characters would really get into this, or if the three of you kind of keep to yourselves.
I mean, I'll
Very
chat with people.
socialize.
Okay. So I think you actually specifically have a skill called carousing, don't you?
Perform oratory to tell stories.
Whoa. You guys can go ahead and roll diplomacy checks for your carousing. Wow. Don't sit there and sip your solo cup like drop the mic.
Well,
you see that
no,
shit?
It's water.
He throws a 32 and then he's like,
I take a sip of my energy drink and then I wash like the nasty filmy taste out with water. Okay.
Don't drink the energy drink.
Well, sorry if I need caffeine because I do a lot of homework and I've been awake since
Tea?
like 6 a.m.
Coffee? Chocolate?
This is literally a coffee energy drink.
Oh, okay. That's not as bad, but still, that looks pretty gross.
It actually doesn't taste too terrible. But I mean, like, I don't know. Coffee's equivalent to me as a Red Bull. Okay, I refuse the argument that it's not. All right, if you're drinking 3 to 4 cups of coffee in a day, I think my 1 Red Bull a week isn't killing me.
Sure. Mike one time gave me a few of the cans of that canned energy coffee drink thing that he used to be sponsored by, and oh boy, it was some of the worst shit I've ever put in my mouth. But anyways, moving on. While you guys are there kind of going with the camaraderie, Shado, you do wonderfully down here, kind of like laughing and joking with them, because the thing is, like, you never really fit in with the northern clans. You just didn't going up there, and you were treated the worst going up there, but at the same time you're able to weasel your way in to spending some time with one of the northern clans and whatnot. And then on top of that, you're able to come back down here and easily slink back into your regular persona and kind of like flip it on the dime, cautiously using your words in a way to be condescending to the northern clans, but not phrasing it in such a way as to open yourself up for persecution in the future against them should they ever want to come back your way. You're really riding those lines very well, and kind of like making some bonds. And this is actually the first real chance that you have to speak to. I think Jake made friends with them.
Throne or
Kugong.
Who?
That was Nick.
Oh, Nick. I had time to speak to them. Kugong's the one that just had her last family member murdered. Yeah,
they're like over here or something, right?
I'm not looking where you're pinging. 1 second.
And like the black void to our east.
They're somewhere south of where you are. So anyways,
Yeah,
Kugong, you hitting things up with Kugong to the point where she actually invites for you and your allies to travel with her the rest of her way home. Because it's on the way for you to go home, and it opens up the opportunity for them to explore more information that can be gathered from there. So she's like, obviously for you, Cell, it's right on the way home. But for Kushibashi, it's way out of the way. But he can get very live information.
I feel like Narin would really want this because his goal is to kill the pirate dude. So I think I obviously say I must speak with my allies if they wish to travel with me, but I will gladly go to your home with you.
And this is one of those scenarios where it's like Saturday nights or Sunday problems. You know what I mean? Like she's definitely intoxicated. Of course, she herself is kind of down on her luck and blah, 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 blah. So she's drinking a little bit heavier than usual, being a bit more outgoing
that's an understatement.
usual. And
Down on her luck, she has no living heirs left.
Yeah. Well,
She's
luckily,
really drinking, all right.
Luckily, clans don't need direct descendants to continue. Okay,
it depends on your clan's customs.
that's fair. But
Yeah.
always can change this, right?
Yep. So anyways, so she's being a bit more friendly with everybody because she's just like kind of throwing it all out there right now. She's just very intoxicated, same as a lot of highly intoxicated people tend to do. So anyways, so that's kind of like how things play out with her. But Nick, one of the things that you notice, that branch that you had left behind, the warlord of this clan here seems to have had it carved or whittled or whatever down, like lathed down into being a staff on hand, like almost like not quite a scepter, but because it's longer than that, and it's very ball headed at the top. So you have to almost imagine this is imagine like a club, but like a two-handed club that's very heavy at the top and thin at the bottom. For mechanical purposes, you can imagine it's literally the stats of a great club, but not that heavy. You know what I mean? And they walk around with this like stark white, branch that has like etchings and whatnot carved into it, and it's genuinely like a beautiful piece. Obviously you have no idea what they did with the little smaller branches that broke, that would have had to been cut off of it, or the bark or anything that was cut off of it, but that's what they were able to carve this thing into, and it's cool looking. So anyways, anything else your characters look to get out of the scenario, or just what Cell was able to kind of procure?
Yeah, I think just that now. I can't drive trade deals any further yet, and I definitely got to kill this guy. So
then the last thing I'm gonna throw out there for your characters, for what you would pick up, why that this has any purpose to even continue talking about, is while Nick, you're able to very quickly pick up that the hosting clans leaders do not so much condone the conversations and whatnot that are happening there. Being a middling clan, technically, they're a little bit more partial to the northern than typical southern clans are, because they have a more direct connection and alignment with them, right? That being said, the other clans, it almost feels like this is more of a Cell thing. You get like the early feeling, like tingling here, of what you can imagine it was like in the mines before you're able to rise yourself up. That shattering of the beaten down, kind of like sore, angry person looking up at the shining, house on the hill, shaking their fist, kind of getting that almost a taste of rebellion in the room. It's a 32 you got there, and you can definitely tell it's not like there's alliances being formed or plots being drafted, but plans being drafted, but it's the beginning.
Yeah, it's like the early stages when you have like management that no one really likes, and everyone's like talking like little crap about them, but not like going too deep into it. But then like 18 weeks later, no one likes management. Everyone's openly saying it.
And then all of a sudden there's a union.
Exactly, right.
And that's when you
bring in fires them all.
Yeah, that's when you're in Warlord Tesla and he cracks that whip.
Okay. Listen. I led my own rebellion, okay?
We know.
Anyway, that's interesting and it makes sense. There's almost like a unity being built saying, fuck you, North. We're cooler than you, except we're worse in every shape, way, and form.
Yeah, more or less. Yep. All right, cool. So anyways, after that, this is where I'm going to allow Jake, you can choose the next person to roll the D100, but before you call the person that you think about, Nick, you want to go ahead and give me a 5 numbers that would be really good, and Cell, give me 25 that'd be really bad out of 100.
Okay, 25 that are bad.
Yep.
Let's do 51 to 75 again for bad. Let's do that.
Nick, give me 5 really good numbers.
Sure, 40 to 45.
Okay. Jake.
Viking, if he's still here.
Viking, True Blue.
Are we heading back with that other clan? With
That's you guys. You can decide that.
Yeah, I'm asking the group. I assume we're.
Yeah, I'm gonna head over there with him.
Okay, yeah. So we're going with them.
Yeah.
Kagong. I found it somewhere. I don't think Vikings here.
Oh,
Steve is dropping some things. It's scary.
okay. Hi, Steve. How are you, buddy? Good. Glad to hear it. Okay. Vikings gone. Choose another one.
Well, Steve did just drop in. So Steve.
Steve, D100, please, sir. Stop whatever you're doing. Stop whatever typing you're doing after pressing whatever button you pressed. And D100. And thank you, sir. Neither good nor bad. Your travel gets you clean and clear down to Tiktong. Sorry, Kagong. Actually, allow me to show you the travel there.
Okay. Tencheng has. Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm not showing it to chat.
That's
Oh,
interesting
chat is
information.
way off. Oh boy. Oh boy. I have to fix all that. 1 second, chat. I'm at least making sure you can see it on map first. Then I'll do the rest of
That's
it.
the regicide one.
Yeah. I'll fix all the other stuff afterwards. So right there, and then lastly, right here. Okay, I have to switch over to Warmonger.
They're really close to me.
Mm-hmm. I have to fix all this other stuff. So I'm going to go back to the other overlay really quickly, just so that we don't have to deal with me trying to fix this while we're role-playing, because I don't want to be distracted by this while I'm role-playing. So
Looking at that location, is the dude from Throne traveling with us as well?
the gentleman from Throne, actually, you know what? That's a really good question.
That's actually.
Steve, roll me a D100. If it's a 39 or higher, they are.
That was a really good question, Jake. Because it does add up from Tencheng. We're gonna be traveling with them all the way to my clan.
They do not travel with you.
Oh, good.
I plead the fifth, Steve. Moving on. So,
You better get on that one, buddy.
yeah, as soon as it's break, remind me at break. Remind me
Uh,
at break for no reason.
Thank
Moving
you
on.
that. That's hilarious.
So you guys are traveling south.
You guys are fucking krakens.
You guys are traveling south with her, but not with him. Okay, to be clear to you, because I said 39 or higher, you're rolled to 33. So when you guys are traveling south, the area, the whole land is without incidents. But without incident isn't one of those things. Doesn't mean that you don't bump into anything along the way. You notice right about shit. Okay, there we go. You notice right about here, for the PCs I can see. Shortly after you leave Ting Tang's borders, you travel about a day outside of Ting Tang's borders, and before you even get into the borders of Kagong, you notice an old camp left behind. You notice the old camp left behind, old war camp left behind, specifically because there's a whole pyre that was used for burning dead bodies. All of the bodies except for the heads, which are lined up.
All right, so we should try to gather information from this. Which skill check would that be?
Well, it's considerably old. It's happened a while ago while you're still up in the north. It's winter time. There's snow that has fallen onto it, but obviously, that stuff can be kind of cleared away, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But obviously, you can still try a survival check to get some information if it's at all possible.
I twiddle my thumbs with my -1 survival check.
-1 can be helpful. Anything else?
Let me see if what's her name can help me out.
Zara,
Yes.
can Jake assist you? or is it Varix? Like, what are you trying to figure out? Like, how many men were like stationed here? Trying to get like numbers or estimates?
Yeah, anything. Yeah, troop numbers would be great. Mounted. How many are mounted? Are they heavy cavalry, light cavalry? There's a lot of information you can get.
I'll let you roll
Yeah.
for her.
Tessel cannot help you with this. This is not in his ballpark.
I see. Yeah, she's got a 2. So
I can climb.
she is a 13. Does that give me a +2?
+2, yes, sir. So it gives you a 25 total. Is there anything? Oh, no, don't you have an ability where she gives you a +3, or do you give others a +3?
Yes, I think I give others. So
Okay, so you get a +2.
but
so
does she
25.
have the same ability because she's a cavalier as well?
Oh,
I don't believe so. I think it's a pretty unique one, but you can go ahead and...
Oh no, that's just for my
archetype.
yes.
Oh, Aurorum knowledge religion. Ooh, adds up. You're seeing about the worship of the ice dude,
Yeah.
Drazam.
Okay. So you are so one of the things that you're going to notice coming in here is that they definitely used cavalry. That part's noted. Inside the fight, you can see like the scuff marks and everything that are left behind. You can see some of the dung left behind by the what do you call it, guano left behind by the commatory that are in the area. Again, that's very obvious. You can also tell based off like the area that the camp was in, et cetera, that the
Once more with feeling.
the area that the camp was in, so on and so forth, that the Haikiken, thank you, sir. That the I'm so distracted right now. I should have had coffee. You can tell that the army that they fought, that they took out in this area, what they had fought against, was probably a good 150 or so, and they're not
Once more
around.
with feeling.
The number of skulls that you see, or heads, I should say, that you see lined up and piked, there's about 32 of them lined up and piked. Obviously, you don't kill everybody on a battlefield,
More with feeling.
but those are the dead that they've actually lined up, removed their heads, and piked up. That leads you to believe that this is a pretty devastating battle that happened here. And then the idea that they didn't allow the dead to be collected and buried, that they just burns the bodies and pikes the heads, that's all concerning. But probably one of the most concerning parts of it all is you can't get any gauge of their numbers. Like, you have no idea how strong they are.
Can Aaliyah do a profession soldier to maybe get an idea of this? The numbers? Based on how many like circles of spots of like larger disruptions, and then you can estimate from there.
No, you would not be able to because of how long ago it was and the snowfall and everything, unfortunately. A 25 is pretty good, but it's not that good. As for the Drozam bit, one of the things that you know is that one of the ways that you can show a worship to Drozam, who I can't remember, what's his name? Drozam the something. It's all about brute force, about might, about combat superiority, and then to disrespect the person that you had defeated by placing their head on a pike afterwards. That is very much a Drozam thing to do. The Frozen. Drozam the Frozen.
That's what I thought. Because he's like the god of ice.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is one of the reasons why he's so quick to why they're so quick to fight in the wintertime. So, anyways, Drozam the Frozen. He's also known as the Glacial Chieftain, the not so nice god of ice and stuff. Sorry, clearly I left a space filler right there. He's a god of conquest, competition, ferocity, so on and so forth. So that being said, Nick, you're pretty sure it's the group, but you can't get numbers or anything like that.
Sure. So I just look at everybody and like, all right, let's take it down and pile it up and burn it.
Obviously, your soldiers would immediately start doing so, or her soldiers would start doing so. I imagine you guys have yours eating.
No.
Doesn't Nick not have any soldiers? He has like mercenaries he bought.
I have some, but not many.
It's a
I thought
combo.
I thought most of yours
More
died.
with feeling.
It's a combo, but neither here nor there. They would still do it for him.
Yeah, my people help.
Jake, yours don't.
No.
Do they instead go like this?
More with feeling.
It's a nice lollipop.
No, it's been too long.
Okay.
Well, now they just got little like Rice Krispies in them.
Once more
Let's
with
make
You know,
sure.
the
It's
maggots. Yeah, yeah.
It's frozen.
Well, decay gives warmth, you know. So, anyways, you're gonna have everybody taking it down, burning it. So, would you say a prayer to
Yeah,
Kraleen?
he would give a prayer to Kraleen. Yeah, Kraleen. Is the martyr around this area, or is that just around Idir still at this point?
I mean, the martyr, she's not been released yet, right?
Yeah, so her worship is only around Idir. So,
Yeah, Adir, Paradel, and whatnot, not really here.
For
Oh.
now, boys. One day. But yeah, I'll give a prayer to Kraleen.
So, moving on. So you are giving a prayer to Kraleen and so on and so forth, kind of cleaning up the area. For the prayer to Kraleen, you can go ahead and roll yourself a oratory check. And for you, Nick, why don't you go ahead and do a war leader roll, the profession?
Can Aaliyah assist me on the roll?
No.
Okay. Might as well ask, you know?
Wow. It's quick, it's efficient, how it's handled, and the words that are said are kind, are very kind and words that really do inspire the people that are there. If she was teetering on whether or not she wanted to be an ally to your clans, then that decision has been made. Jake, however, is, you know.
Well,
He
I
comes with
have
a
people that
package.
worship Drazone, and you know, it's I'm not going to desecrate his offerings.
Australian, gotcha. So,
No, it makes sense though.
That's what I said, yeah. So, what you guys end up doing is, wow, level 4 hype train, Jesus. It's already 51% through level 4. I wasn't looking, I was just trying not to be distracted. Keep going, Scott. When I had my doctor's appointment on Thursday, she was like, how are you doing with the ADHD? Do you feel like you need medication? No.
Keep going, Scott.
So you she as you finish the rest of the travel to her home, she is thankful for what it is that you guys have been able to do for her, to provide for her. When you get there, she provides for you warm lodging, guards that could stand outside, offers for your soldiers to be able to have time to rest and relax, to show appreciation to them for what it was that they had done for her people and whatnot as well, so on and so forth. And I imagine you guys take some degree of acceptance of that and some degree of no thank you. Moving on. But of course, while you're there, you're going to want to immediately kind of jump into what it is that you're able to learn from those that battle and those that survived and retreated from it, as well as the culture of this place. So one of the things that as you're trying to learn about the culture of the place, so actually split up. Who's looking for what? Jake, if anything.
Nothing.
I want to connect with the people of this place, culture. I want to learn about them, try to see what I can do to get on their good sides.
Cool. Nick, and I assume you want to learn more about what the this group is, right? Cool.
Sure.
So you go ahead and roll me a diplomacy check.
Can I be aided?
I mean, no. Why always need somebody to help you? Why can't you just do it
Because
yourself?
Aaliyah's here. Because she's great.
Hey, go ahead. Have her help you.
She's a higher modifier than I do, but it doesn't make sense for her to be taking the lead.
I mean, she could just go a separate way.
Yeah, but Tesla's there, so he's in the lead. Yeah.
So you guys go about asking different questions, trying to learn about the culture. Well, one of the things is, oh Jesus, Rosin. One of the things is that you learn about this place is, Stell, they had it coming. They had it coming. They only
Wait,
had themselves to blame.
What did the disrespect Drazam?
If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, you would have done the same. The Clan Kagong, as they were talking about beforehand with Nick, about trying to provide some degree of protection and whatnot for your clan, you learn that one of the reasons why this clan is able to be as successful as it has been, and one of the reasons why it's able to kind of like function is they act as bandits to a degree. They have a home. They have towns that exist here and thorps and the like. They have a base that's here, but you're able to discern with a 25 and a 35 that they have a degree of banditry that they participate in.
They're pseudo plains pirates. I see.
They actually will travel outwards, and if there's things like, say, from some of the clans in the south traveling up to the north to deliver things, it is mine now. And then they will sell it to others and whatnot. And same thing. People traveling from the north to the south, it's mine now too. And they keep it, et cetera, et cetera. They also will trade in goods that are otherwise not easily found, because they take these goods and they'll trade them with others, like, say, Paradel, to gather some of the things that they have there. So goods that you wouldn't generally find, they actually have things like poisons and the like that they sell here.
I see. So they really kind of had this coming. Some karma. Interesting.
Nick, for you, the free folk. Nick, for you, the when you're going around trying to find out details about the armies, you can kind of go about this one of two ways. One, take it to the people and find out what they've learned, speaking to them as people, diplomacy check. Or, because she gave you permission, you can speak to them as soldiers. Something that you kind of an option that you unlocked by the various ways that you've aided her from up in the north down to here.
I will go the soldier route since he's peddling to the people. So, professions, warlord. God damn. Such shit.
And you want luck die?
Feels like a waste of a luck, but sure, why not?
You can get 25. See?
And I did.
Okay, 15.
Hey, Scott, when you
wow.
can in a second, can you open up the sheet for Maratha and look at the bio and the bit in bold?
So what do you want me
Might
to
be
do
around.
with that?
Well, you just mentioned what the type of people these people are.
How that level? Jesus.
Yeah, my leadership score's 21.
Gotcha.
Because he's a vile man.
Just putting that there for you because it just clicked in my head because what you said. So.
Yep, gotcha. All right, I'll get to that in a second. Cool, thank you. Who was just doing what? Nick. Ooh, you got a 25. Beautiful. So, speak to them as soldiers because you were given permission to do so, to speak to them as soldiers and get the word out of them, get them to speak, break through their PTSD, knowing your character, probably not in a nice way, to get them to answer questions. Nick, why don't you go ahead and ask some questions? We'll bring this to RP for everybody.
Sure. As soldiers, thinking about it, when was the last raid? Would be question number one.
So she would ask, so you say, when was last raid, referring to them attacking you guys, or whatever. They would say, the raid was when they took, what was it, niece that died?
Nephew.
It was
Nephew.
nephew. I think.
Nephew, sorry. The last raid was when the warlord's nephew was taken. But
And did they know the location of the warlord?
they They seem to, unless it was by chance, which it probably wasn't. They seem to, but it wasn't here either. It was southeast of here.
And what was nephew doing southeast of here?
It's one of those things. They'll be honest. We were doing a raid.
Who were you raiding?
It's a small clan. Size not really very large. Not really worth noting.
Did you have any trade partners recently prior to the attack?
Trade partners?
Yes. Were there any visitors to this region prior to the attack?
Not sure about that. As a reminder, it was northwest of here is where that battle was that you just saw, whereas he's just in southeast for that. But continuing, he's like not sure about that. I wouldn't know that.
Okay, and how many men were stationed northwest of here? That's good.
I was one of the ones that were sent out. We caught wind of where it was that they were going to be before they got away and traveled further to the west or the like, somewhere where they wouldn't be easily pursued. So we put together a troop, a forward advance. Others are going to join in afterwards to get vengeance for what it was that they had done, to battle them back. But unfortunately, it was a trap, and our forward advance was decimated before the others could arrive. By the time the others got there, they were just sitting and being pelted with arrows, and they turned and retreated. All in all, I think over 50 died that day. Some more back home.
How many units were there?
We brought with us 7 groups of 20 as the backup. That's the group that I was a part of.
How many units were the attackers?
It was hard to tell because of how far they were, and they kicked up a good amount of dirt and the like in the area, which is it wasn't dirt. It was like a mist. They had to obscure how many there. I wouldn't say obscure. To hide how many were there. It was hard to tell, but if I had to guess, I easily saw 40 or 50 Kamatori. As for archers, it sounded like the strings never stopped firing. You could just hear the twanging of the bowstrings as like a constant, like rain falling.
And were all the arrows coming from the same direction or multiple directions?
No, they set up a bowl for us to walk into.
Interesting. And when you found out what direction you were going, has anyone found the source of that information?
That's a good question. I don't have that answer either, but maybe if you speak to my commander, they might be able to assist you. In which case, ask this like a mid-rank soldier. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Understood. I think that's all my questions for now. Thank you. And
move on to the next one, of course.
Yeah.
Or it's like when you go in, they'll be like, Warlord, I was told I had to aid you in discovery.
Yes, we're trying to identify A, the sources of your misinformation, B, the tactics that were used so we can try to glean unit size and general tactics being used So, trying to understand how they knew where the target was going to be, how they fed in false information to lead your units into a trap, and what the general response time is, and their general unit makeups. So far, it looks like light cavalry, mid-sized contingent, and lots of archers.
So, well, I have a bit more news than that. I actually got to speak to one of the other, we'll call them lieutenants, from the forward advance before they died. I caught them early in the battlefield. I was able to get news in the battle. I was able to get news from them. It seems as though when it comes to Comatori, the number must be about well over 100. They said, but it's hard to count numbers when they get that high. Maybe double that size, strong. So, in their full force, potentially 200 strong. As for archers, walking on foot but still willing to shoot, it seems as though that would be perhaps matching that number. This would be a group that obviously would travel slower than the Comatori, so likely they were put in place long beforehand. This damned trap that was set up against us. As for those that they'd be using for keeping supplies, additional support and whatnot, you can imagine easily a good 40 or 50 more would be able to provide some degree of aid in that. All in all, I think that this group, which I don't believe is the primary group, is well over 400 strong.
Interesting. And how exactly do you let a group of 400 to 500 soldiers play around in your own backyard without noticing?
Well, they weren't in the backyard, were they? They were sticking to the lands that are either unclaimed, not as often watched, or as neutral territory. Word came in that this is what was happening, and I gave the commands for the forward advance to move forward, and that I would be pulling up the rear behind.
And where did that word come in from?
My scouts.
Which scouts?
Let's see, that particular word, I'd have to go and see where I could find where that's marked. I keep decent notes. If you hold on one second, the warlord does want me to assist you, of course. So he will go over and get. I mean, he does keep notes, but let's not think it's Perrin style note keeping, right? These aren't like some extremely well kept notes and so on and so forth. But names. And like maybe a sentence afterwards, some pretty basic stuff. He probably just unloads his mind at the end of the day versus note keeping throughout it, right? And certainly doesn't have like a secretary on hands logging a bunch of shit, Anyways, so he looks down at it and he says, let's see, it seems here like Keelton and Durrell. Keelton and Durrell were the scouts that we had. They're the ones that had the news for us. Trustworthy too. They've been with our group for a considerable amount of time.
I see.
Their parents had served in before them.
And who handles dispatching those two?
I do.
I see. And what areas were they ranging where they found this information?
They were the reason why the news came from, as it was their responsibility to keep an eye to the north and east of here. In case you're not very familiar with our part of Kajinksi, there are hills to the north and east of here. From those hills, they had a vantage point. They saw more scouts coming in, others that would have noticed them in the hills, so they retreated back to a hill a little bit further south, but still north and a bit east of here. From there, that's where they started seeing the large group making its way over. They retreated back with enough speed to allow us to move forward and lay our trap for them, not realizing that they were just setting a trap for us. Not a large group, sorry, a small group moving forward. And so we went to go lay our trap for them, not realizing that they were setting a trap for us. The people were already in play. The small group was to guide us there.
Interesting. Anybody have any ideas for what questions I should ask?
So they travel from the northeast on the northern border to the western end, and to where they set a trap. Do they have records of the pattern of movement of the red mongrel throughout several years? Is this like a repeated type of pattern? Is like the kind of question, right? Or is he making up new strategies every single time he raids people?
Oh, he's very good at being. I said this last week or however many weeks ago, whatever it was. He's very good at being several steps ahead of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So it's not the same strategy over and over again. He uses many different strategies.
Okay, it's important to note that he's not like a. So this
not a one-trick
type of
pony.
ambush, yeah, this type of ambush isn't the only type he can do. He can do plenty.
He attacks more often in the winter than otherwise, just Joey.
But that's religious reasons, I assume.
Yeah.
More than anything
And
else.
tactics.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, what I'm gleaming is there's most likely a lot of like spying and subterfuge going on. There's a lot of groundwork happening first, and then it's luring out and dogfighting. And then so basically lure them out, get them into a disadvantaged situation, and then swarm and then run away.
Also using magic, I think, from what it sounds like.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So
Tessel's familiar from
Yeah,
obscuring
yeah. I was gonna say this. Yeah.
finishing that conversation with this guy, he would say, Warlord Kushibashi. Did I say that correctly?
Correct.
Warlord Kushibashi, you have a lot of questions about this, and certainly far from your own home. Am I to assume that you're going to, well, pursue this endeavor?
I will be raising my armies.
I have had the opportunity to see some of these tactics. I would ask my warlord's permission, but while I would not assume to be given command of any of your soldiers within your clan, if your clan would like to have someone who has seen these tactics advice, I'd be willing to travel to your clan to provide some degree of aid, if it's possible.
Absolutely. I'm sure our great General Karzog should be able to find a use for your information.
He nods and says, thank you for the opportunity. Of course, assuming that it's, I get the blessings from the warlord. Okay. And so he kind of ends that bit there. Any other people that you want to try to pursue or speak with there, Nick, or no?
Not unless I can find someone who was either close with the nephew. The only other mystery is how they knew the nephew was going to be out raiding, or if that, it seems like it was a targeted event.
Yeah,
So.
she's lost a lot of people, so she's had quite a few targeted events. I think it was divulged to you beforehand that she pissed them off at one point in time, and so they were getting recompense to her.
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder. So this feels like there's someone on like the inside saying,
Oh,
"Hey,
definitely.
these guys are raiding this way, right?" And this clan seems pretty predictable. They see a pretty package being shipped near them, and they seem like they just pick it up and raid it, which is an easy way to ambush someone, is that you send out a fake package, give them information, and then fuck them up, right? So they're literally,
definitely.
They might be literally walking into bait from the beginning, which would add up with this guy's strategy.
Yeah, which totally makes sense.
But Tesla's not as tactically minded as I may be.
Still sees himself as tactically minded.
More than my character, I would say, okay? Play a lot of war games, okay, and strategy games.
Still, I didn't say that you're not.
Listen, okay? I don't need this criticism.
I didn't criticize you.
So, I think that's all we can really gather. These guys don't seem like people I particularly actually want to be allies with. Not gonna lie.
No, but there's a huge bounty on this dude.
Oh,
And let's-
I mean, killing the dude is all good, right?
And let's be real here. If we're talking trade routes, right? Do you want to have to keep fighting the bandits, or do you want the bandits on your payroll?
No, I agree. Working with them adds up, but I don't necessarily want to be like close allies.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. They're not coming over from Mom's Spaghetti. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, right? They're like someone you sit down next to the lunch table, right? And you talk with them, but you don't hang out with them after school.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the guy who comes over and, you could make room for him to sit at the table, but you don't.
That's so bad. Yeah. Okay, I think we got what we want out of this clan. We got some nice information.
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
What have they got left as far as army is concerned? Are they like spent?
Oh yeah, they're like spent.
Alright,
I mean,
so
granted, they still have.
seeing
So
that
to be clear, when our army loses its battle, it's not like all of its soldiers die, right? Like 10% of them die. That's a pretty big number. 20% is like devastating, right? So they have people that are capable of fighting. They're just not people that are currently willing to fight.
Yeah.
And-
All right, so I would actually speak to both the other warlords, and Varys would just say, "It seems we might have another opportunity to do what we did with Vosk, but rather than conquer them, maybe in dealing with the I can't remember what his name is.
The
Okay.
Red Mongrel.
Oh, the Red Mongrel,
Mongrel.
yeah.
Dealing with the Red Mongrel, we may be able to take them under us as a vassal. Start uniting more of the tribes of the clans of the south.
That is a bold idea. But
It's
I would
just
not.
it's just funny because we keep just smelling rebellion in the air, and Jake's like, "Yes, let's unite the southern clans."
No, but that makes sense, right? It's so kind of.
We took
and it's funny the southerner says it
Vosk.
makes sense.
We took Vosk, all right.
It's not a
and-
flag of hate. I'm sorry.
Oh my God!
So
Fuck, okay.
we have
No,
to
I'm
we have to
fucking-
deal with these
I'm gone.
uniting these clans anyway. So
My heritage.
Fuck you. Okay, the South is not my heritage. All right, my family's
Sadly.
from New York. Okay,
Yeah, your family is not you.
I was born in Florida, in the south of Florida, so it's hardly southern. Okay?
Listen, and
Let's
everybody
be real.
born in Boston is Irish. Get over it.
Anyway, so it's we can start building a relationship by making treaties, like defensive pacts, trade routes, and
I mean,
whatnot. If we want to get closer integration, but vassalage is a far step away from helping them out with a problem that affects all of the clans. You must think of shorter steps to the large one.
Oh, Joey, you should know you can't have three hard C's in a
That's-
name. we went through this with Clan Kagong.
Yeah. So, but let us not worry about such a distant idea. Let us worry about defeating the Red Mongrel first.
Listen, it's the People's Republic of Kajinki,
No.
okay?
No, Joey.
No,
No.
it's
Slash timeout abusive snaga one.
People's Republic of Kajinksi. What's the other one from? It's like, fuck. What's the Monty Python one? Where it's like the People's Republic of. Nope, I don't got it. It's been so long since I watched.
I'm looking at
the-
Confederate spelled with a K, how he wrote it, and I'm like, that looks like how somebody from Alabama would write it.
People from Alabama don't write. Oh boy, yeah,
That's
no. To be perfectly honest with you, Sel, with this clan, I think Jake's on who's got the right of it. I wouldn't sign any kind of agreement with them unless we just straight own them. Be like, you guys made bad decisions, and now you don't get to make them anymore.
Yeah, it's unlikely that the clan would accept this though.
Yeah, but they're
Well,
weak.
yeah,
They're weak.
exactly.
Like if we marched our armies in here right now, we'd take it.
Yeah. The problem
Just
is
take it instantly.
our power projection in over here is super weak. Right? Our power projection. If I get clan skull to be vassal, then our
I
power
can
projection
actually
is
I can
stronger.
actually make this so chat can see what you're pointing at, and then I'll start trying to fix it for them.
We don't really project power over, this region of Kajinxi.
Well, there's an easy way to change that.
Well, yes, I need to build the area up more, but I have a threat immediately that's a problem. That is their own. So once their own is gone,
are they a problem?
yes, they're
Are they though?
actively trying to sabotage my nation.
I think they're pretty good. They're good guys.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right? The
you say that,
warlord is
except-
good. He's
Listen,
outfitted my army
Jake,
in
you know
new
what you're doing?
gear.
You know what you're doing right now?
Who's your ally?
You sound
Me or him?
like me trying to explain Nick to my other friends. That's what you
Listen.
sound like right now. You know?
You do realize Throne is like actively trying to cause distress within my nation. Like they literally are
How?
sending members of the broken chains coming.
They are
from
not
Throne,
sending members of the Broken Chain. The Broken Chain may have a base
Close.
out of there, but they
which
don't
they are getting
serve Clan
Throne
Throne.
steel. They're getting items of chains.
Did you want them? Sorry, did you want them to buy the steel from you?
No, my
They have
point
to
is
get the steel
Throne
from
is
somewhere.
actively making.
So where would they
chains.
get?
No.
Just wait. I just want to know where would they get the steel?
You're not listening to the problem. Throne is making slave chains for the broken chain to give to my people to pretend I have slaves. Do you not see?
Did they?
Yes, they literally
did
did
they
that.
do that?
Yes, they literally did that. They were giving them chains. We saw the mintage of the fucking steel. Like they're literally actively working with the broken chain to sabotage my nation.
Or the Broken Chain is buying it.
That doesn't. Yeah, but it's proving my point. The Throne actively wants to harm my nation. That's my point.
But they're just keeping
Yeah,
up their
no,
economy.
but
they're
that's
selling
not-
steel.
Yeah, they're selling steel made as.
You're reaching. Sel, you are reaching.
This is not
right
reaching.
now.
This is not reaching.
Yes,
Just-
that is reaching.
You're reaching
Jake,
so
you
You
hard,
are
Jake.
reaching.
You got to ask the
You're
right
literally
question.
trying to grab like the stars and say, yeah, they're totally not helping the broken chain sabotage my nation by giving them slave chains, pretending like they're from my clan.
Well, who's buying all the slave chains in your clan?
No one, because we don't make it.
Oh, yeah, I know. So they're buying them because obviously you need lots of chains for your slaves. It sounds like you guys have a good trade.
Anyway,
organization.
besides the memes, Throne is actively trying to hamper my nation. I have to roll stability checks at negative like 15 or 10 or whatever. That's because of Throne.
Seems like they're trying
You
to make
don't
you
know
nice
that.
and secure with all those chains.
So sorry, Jake. Okay, if you have an antagonistic relationship with your neighbor, and after antagonism happened between them, you constantly have to roll rolls that are at negatives, that are stability checks that you know are going to cause a problem. Sorry if that seems pretty.
I
on
don't know.
point.
All I'm saying is, all I can see is you tried to buddy up with Throne. You sent them Adele, who they didn't like. Fair enough.
Sure, fair
They're
enough.
probably not the most open people.
Yeah, I
but
can
then
agree with
but then
And then they
it
started.
sounds like
actively harming my nation.
apart from that, it just sounds like they're just selling stuff to the Broken Chain who you made.
chains, slave chains, with
It
collars.
doesn't matter what they're selling them. You're not understanding. They're just making to order.
Sorry, you're right. My
If
bad.
somebody goes, I need a chain, please.
This is a bad-
and
this is a bad
the
argument,
blacksmith
Jake.
goes, okay, you're paying for it, sure.
Sorry, my bad.
All
I
I'm
don't
saying
realize.
is you,
I don't realize.
you can't,
selling.
can't say it's Throne.
I don't
though.
realize selling missiles to nations that are bombing civilians isn't a bad thing. My bad. I didn't realize that. There's not problems.
That is different.
No, this is
All right?
like
These
are
chains are
actually-
not being used to
They're
whip people
being
to
used-
death with, unless
yeah,
they
but they're
are at
being
your,
used
in
to
your minds.
actively
I don't know.
cause instability within the nation that you're allies with.
Look, all I know is
This
guns
was caught
don't
in
kill
4K, but like, we
people.
literally had people watching
Uh-huh.
them. We had people watching them do this with steel made from Throne, like crossing the border.
Yeah, but this is what all you're saying is it's just the broken chain that are fucking with you. They're
Yes.
purchasing steel.
That
Unless you can get some type of proof that Throne is giving them the steel for free and just wanting to screw you over, I can't really see how it's Throne's fault.
Yeah, Jake, you're stretching pretty hard here. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
You're reaching.
I'm not. I'm literally not reaching.
You are reaching.
I think it's a pretty fair assumption that
I don't know.
the people that have an active antagonistic relationship with me are helping the other people that have an active antagonistic relationship with me. This is literally like, hey, we both hate this guy. Let's screw him over. It's pretty straight logic.
No,
Saying that
you're
they have
reaching.
nothing-
You are
Okay, Jake.
reaching.
Okay, Jake, whatever you say.
Thank you.
Whatever you say. You're right, Jake. My bad. I'm reaching. I'm reaching with this. Unbelievable.
It's all right, Stella. I'm just mucking around. With
I know you are because it's.
I know, but you're getting so worked up about it. It makes me want to
Because-
keep going.
I know because I hate them so much because they're just dicks. We just literally went to say hi, what's up, dude, and then they're like, "Fuck you," for like no reason. This claim was like, "Fuck you, dude. You have a parent person, so we're gonna hate you now."
Excuse
Like
me.
what?
The derogatory term is Del.
Yeah, but we don't say that in my clan because we're open-minded people.
Yes.
Yeah, but to be fair, you basically
So bad.
sent like
I sent my grand diplomat. Sorry. Don't even say anything. If you're gonna go send an embassy to a nation, you're gonna send your grand diplomat as the face because that's what you do. And mine was
no, you don't send little Nas X to be the diplomat of Royal Kentucky. Okay, that's
I didn't know they were that. I didn't know this till I went there, and then they realized, and then they're like, "Fuck the Dell."
Oh my god. Oh
Clan
my
Skull
god.
didn't have a problem with it. Clan Skull was really nice. They're like, "Yo, you're cool," but now it's around. It's like, suck my dick, and they're supporting the broken chain that's saying, "Suck my dick."
Did you just say that?
Yeah.
That's funny. That was funny.
I need to go to the bathroom. Can we go to break?
Yeah, it seems like everybody needs a moment. So, be right back, everybody. Be right back. Ooh.